Let me admit, I was a shy kid and still to this day I have some problems with it. Writing was my #1 way of expressing myself. Whenever I had to do a presentation in front of a class or hold a speech, I felt uneasy. There is something about public speaking that locks me up, and I am sure there are a lot of people that feel the same. Hi, this is Farhana. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about fear of public speaking and how to overcome that fear. Now, throughout the years I have learned to cope with my problem. I still always have anxiety before I need to speak in front of a crowd, but that has turned into a good type of anxiety that keeps me sharp and focused. I didn't use any professional help to deal with my fear of public speaking, but read quite a few books and articles about it. If you wondered what the best ways to deal with this type of anxiety are, planning and practice is on top the list. Sure, overcoming your fear will take a lot of work and time, but here you can see what the most efficient solutions are. So let's listen carefully and start working on your public speaking, so you don't stumble while up there. First tip is, when someone says the words, public speaking, there's no need to run for the hills. When you're able to impress audience, your clients, potential investors and even co-workers with a stellar presentation, you're positioning yourself for success. And you don't have to think of it as scary either. In fact, presentations and public speaking should be fun and exciting if you're doing them correctly. That means properly preparing, identifying your purpose, creating visuals and telling a story. So what's the secret sauce to a smooth public speaking? Let's try to find out. To start, identify the message you want to leave with your audience. Creating a strong structure, writing out notes, using metaphors, keeping eye contact. There are a number of things you can do to knock it out of the park. Voice. The secret of good voice is relaxation. And this is true, for relaxation is the basis of ease. The airwaves that produce voice result in a different kind of tone when striking against relaxed muscles than when striking constricted muscles. Try this for yourself. Contract the muscles of your face and throat as you do in hate, and flame out, I hate you. Now relax as you do when thinking gentle, tender thoughts, and say, I love you. How different the voice sounds. Do not make haste to begin. Haste shows lack of control. Do not apologize. It ought not to be necessary, and if it is, it will not help. Go straight ahead. When you find your voice in too high a range, lower it. Do not form the habit of listening to your voice when speaking. You will need your brain to think of what you are saying. Reserve your observation for private practice. Also practice your voice exercises in an attitude of joy. You should have voice charm and excitement in your voice. It is one of the greatest revealers of character. It is impossible to think selfish thoughts and have either an attractive personality, a lovely character, or a charming voice. If you want to possess voice charm, cultivate a deep, sincere sympathy for mankind. Love will shine out through your eyes and proclaim itself in your tones. Gestures. The truth about gesture. Gesture is an outward expression of an inward condition. Gestures must be born, not built. It is merely an effect, the effect of a mental or an emotional impulse struggling for expression through physical avenues. You must not, however, begin at the wrong end. If you are troubled by your gestures, or a lack of gestures, attend to the cause, not the effect. No matter how effective one gesture is, do not overwork it. Put variety in your actions. Monotony will destroy all beauty and power. Any movement that is not significant, weakens. Do not forget that. Restlessness is not expression. A great many useless movements will only take the attention of the audience from what you are saying. Gesture should either be simultaneous with or precede the words, not follow them. Do not make short, jerky movements. Let your movements be easy, and from the shoulder, as a rule, rather than from the elbow. But do not go to the other extreme and make too many flowing motions. Put a little punch and life into your gestures. You cannot, however, do this mechanically. The audience will detect it if you do. They may not know just what is wrong, but the gesture will have a false appearance to them. Facial expression is important. The movements of the facial muscles may mean a great deal more than the movements of the hand. Do not use too much gesture. Posture. The physical attitude to be taken before the audience really is included in gesture. Just what that attitude should be depends, not on rules, but on the spirit of the speech and the occasion. Use simple good manners and common sense. Here a word of caution is needed. I have advised you to allow your gestures and postures to be spontaneous and not woodenly prepared beforehand, but do not go to the extreme. If your position is not graceful, make it so by dancing, stretching, and by getting grace and poise in your mind. Do not continually hold the same position. Any big change of thought necessitates a change of position. Be at home. There are no rules, it is all a matter of taste. Gravity will take care of them. Subject and preparation. Practice. Preparation must also be of another sort than the gathering, organizing, and shaping of materials. It must include practice, which, like mental preparation, must be both general and special. There is an absolute telepathy between the audience and the speaker. If your thought goes to your gesture, their thought will too. You have doubtless been adjured to forget everything but your subject. This advice says either too much or too little. The truth is that, while on the platform, you must not forget a great many things that are not in your subject, but you must not think of them. Your attention must consciously go only to your message, but subconsciously you will be attending to the points of technique which have become more or less habitual by practice. A nice balance between these two kinds of attention is important. Thus, to sum up, the vocabulary you have enlarged by study.